I'm Nipun Ahuja and Sergeant at Arms of this club. Developing your communication skill can help all aspects of our life, from our professional life to social gatherings and everything in between. If we are looking for promotion or good job, we need to demonstrate good communication skills. In our Toastmaster clubs, we all endeavor to improve our communication skills. Now, let me introduce the mission of our club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication skills and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. We apply small efforts to get command on what we wish to do. We want to become good speaker, we have to give efforts. We want to become good writer, we have to give efforts. And we want to become entrepreneur, again we have to give right efforts. We will discuss more on this in today's meeting as our theme is related to this. Now let me introduce to all of you, the acting president of our club. He presents his ideas appropriately during his speeches. He manages his interaction so nicely with different members of our club. He has the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. He is strategic thinker and develop right vision for our club. He knows how to motivate our club members, and whatever information he has ability to transform them into action. Please help me to welcome our acting president Toastmaster Nitin Gautam.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nipun, for your warm words. So kindly pray for 30 seconds for the world, please. Please. Kindly open your eyes. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Toastmasters is a great platform to own your communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. It has been able to transform many lives all around the world. Let me tell you an inspiring story of a person who gained a lot of confidence after stepping into the world of Toastmasters. So this guy was a typical science student. After completing his schooling life in the science background, he took an admission in the engineering college. He gained a lot of information and stuffs about the he gained a lot of information and experience about the engineering stuffs, but at the same time he was lacking all the social skills and communication skills needed to face the world around after him. So one fine day, he was searching a video on YouTube about how to improve communication and improve his personality. From there, he got to know about the idea of Toastmasters. First of all, he was very fascinated by the word of Toastmasters, so it intrigued him to search on the Google, and he says that it is a platform to improve your communication and leadership skills. So he got an idea, he started searching for the few clubs and finally psyched up his mind to attend one of the meetings in the club. Then after attending a few meetings, he got very inspired about the idea of Toastmasters, how people speak in front of everyone. And there from there he decided to join one club. He decided Central Delhi Toastmasters Club. Then after, and it has been 2 years that he has joined the Toastmasters Club, and he has seen and he has been able to gain a lot of confidence and experience in Toastmasters. And today only he was called by the president of our club that Toastmaster Nitin, would you like to deliver the presidential address today? So, and today I am here delivering an impromptu presidential address. So, very good evening, fellow Toastmasters, once again. So, it's time to, call to know from our future Toastmasters of our club, that is guests. So, kindly introduce yourself by who you are, what do you do, and how do you come to know about Toastmasters. So, we have Ashwin Lakra. Please introduce yourself. Ashwin, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. 1 second.
All right.
I have to turn off my video.
It's okay. Just introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Ashwin Lakra. I am from College of Vocational Studies. I doing BCom vocational, and I would like to join this Toastmaster because my brother told me, and that's all.
Okay, so we welcome you to our club.
Thank you.
So, uh, Divya, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi
Sure.
everyone. My name is Divya Mishra. I'm from Delhi. I started my career in 2012 with winning the title of Times of India Fresh Face. And post that, I started modeling. And in 2014, I was in top 14 Femina Miss India. That's how I started my career with modeling. And in the same year, I got the chance to act in a Gujarati film as a lead actress. And that was like my dream come true because acting is my passion. So I did the movie, and while I was dubbing the movie, I realized that I have a very good voice on the mic. I can become a voiceover artist as well. So I started with my voiceover workshop for a month or two, and then I started my career as a voiceover artist. So right now I'm working as a model, partially as an actor, full time as a voiceover artist. And at the same time, it's been 3 years. I've been teaching and training students, basically acting students, communication skills, personality development, fashion walking, because I was a model. So I used to teach them how to walk, how to talk, and how to basically socialize in between fashion people. So, yeah, this is me in a nutshell. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Divya, for the introduction, and we hope you had a great learning experience in our today's meeting. So,
Thank you.
guys, today we have our distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon sir, who has been a passionate Toastmaster since 2002, and he is one of those persons with whom you can easily gel with. So, over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon sir.
Thank you, Acting President Nitin Gautam. Thank you very much for asking me to speak to all of you. You've all heard me so many times, so I'm going to say hello, everybody, and I hope that henceforth I'm going to be a more regular member compared to last year when I was serving as the international president, when I barely had the time, especially after the pandemic struck us because of the challenges that the world of Toastmasters was facing. But this year, as the immediate past international president, I hope that I shall have more time to spare and be a part of my home club and look forward to participating. I know that I shall probably be presenting a speech next week. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to getting evaluated from one of you and looking forward to participating in meetings as much as I can. Thank you very much. I wish to enjoy today's meeting as much as possible as well, and I hope that you will all enjoy it too. All the best, and back to you, Mr. Acting President.
Thank you so much, DTM Deepak Menon sir. It was our immense pleasure to have you to have you in our meeting with us. So now it's time to call a Toastmaster of the day, who is Toastmaster Digan. He is a very passionate Toastmaster and he has completed his Toastmasters educational program, and he is very diligent, hard worker, and never misses any of the club's meetings. So it's time to introduce our Toastmaster of the day, Digan Mittal, with his theme in the driver's seat. In the driver's seat, Toastmaster Digan Mittal. Over to you.
Thanks, Toastmaster Nitin. It has been a pleasure to attend this club every time. Now, friends, I have one thing special before I start my theme for all of you. As you can see my screen, as the speeches will be going on, or as the role players will be coming to the screen to introduce themselves or anything, My screen will be showing a Zoom background that will actually show you how meeting is going to proceed. And apart from that, I will also be posting in the chat box about what is actually going on so that we all can understand what is happening and we can actually enjoy. You know, one of my friends told me that there are certain types of people who laugh at jokes. And one of those type of people is those people who just laugh on the joke, who don't understand the joke. But after a while, when they understand the joke, then they laugh. So, in order to prevent ourselves from those things, I we have come across with this idea so that we can understand and enjoy. Just a second. Tech Master, can you handle someone? Some people are in waiting to, I think.
Yes, I have taken care of them. Don't worry.
Okay. So, friends, let me tell you about my scenario. Toastmaster Nitin Gautam told about how he joined Toastmasters, but my story was little bit more interesting. I was sitting hopeless in the Chayos bar of Connaught Place. And why? Because I gave my CFA level 1 exams coughing up around 1 lakh rupees, and I was completely hopeless about that result. Now, to tell you about the situation in a more specific way, I was really screwing up my, I was really like disastrous in my exams. So my family members didn't think about it much. Okay, we understand what we can expect from you other than ruining your exam. And to take it another way, 1 lakh rupees. You have done a loss of 1 lakh rupees in this. And not to go into much more uh, caste related matters, but being a Bania, this problem of ruining my exams is very small when it comes to a loss of 1 lakh rupees. So I was worried. But I was thinking that my uncle has been telling me to join this thing called Toastmasters since a long time. Come on, what is this Toastmasters? I like bread, but I don't like bread so much that I like toast every time. So I don't know. But I thought that okay, they will be after my life, so let me give it a try. I reached out to internet, the all pervading heaven for all of us, and then searched about Toastmasters and got references about two clubs, one of them being Central Delhi Toastmasters Club. And now is my question to all of you. I met a guy, I talked to a guy, a boy, young boy, who was my first contact in Central Delhi Toastmasters, first contact ever. Now I would like to ask all the old members especially to guess, and in order to give the goodies, sorry listener, I'm little bit stealing your work right now. I will also be transferring a 50 rupees cashback to the one who actually guesses the name of the person correctly, especially to all the old members. Now I am seeing all in the screen. Please give me a guess. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, all the people. Can anyone guess? And that person has been in Toastmasters. He has been a president also. So obviously, I will be talking to president through website only.
Karan Hari,
No.
Agarwal, Sparsh Jain.
Yes, you will get your 50 rupees soon. Well, so I talked to Sparsh, and then he referred me to his team member, Toastmaster Shipra. I talked to her. I told her my objective of joining Toastmasters, that I want to work upon my communication skills. Being a person from good schools, I also have this flair for going for negotiation skills also. But I don't have any clue. Please help me out. And they helped me out. And in the first meeting itself, they were having my payment as membership fees. That was my driving force, and that is still my driving force, to have such good communication skill and such good convincing power. Most of us here might be having some of the communication and some of the goals with which we filled that form of Toastmasters International, for which we are charged $20 for one time membership fees. I want to ask some of you if some of you can share your goals with us. Come on, give me a hands up. Uh, although uh, we might be listening from Deepak sir a lot these days because of his speech, but I would like to urge Deepak sir to share his objectives when he joined Toastmasters back in 80s. So I think you joined in 80s, if I'm not wrong. Sir.
Absolutely not. I joined in 2002. In
Oh,
the 80s, there was no Toastmasters in India. In fact, the
okay.
first club in India, in New Delhi, started in 2000, and I joined it in 2002. That was the Toastmasters Club of New Delhi. And I had absolutely no interest in joining Toastmasters. I thought I could speak very well, but I was forced to go attend a Toastmasters meeting. There was an uncle of mine who suggested that I must. He was trying to increase membership of the club, and that's why he got me into the meeting. But while at the meeting, I was called upon to speak on table topics, and I realized that I actually did have a fear of speaking before an audience. I was so nervous standing there in front of that audience at that point in time. I was shuddering and shivering and sweating. And I realized I needed to join Toastmasters so that I could enhance my speaking skills, I could reduce my nervousness and gain confidence. And of course, that was the purpose I joined. But as I say, that purpose changes over a period of time. You know, you don't stay on in Toastmasters only for the purpose that you joined, because you start discovering so many things about Toastmasters, and you continue in Toastmasters because you find that you develop life skills in Toastmasters. And today, 18 years later, I can say very confidently that I have not only achieved that purpose that I joined for, but many other purposes that I had. And of course, at no point in time did I ever imagine that that new member who joined in 2002 in July at the Toastmasters Club of New Delhi would one day become the international president of this organization across 145 countries. So, yeah, that was the reason I joined.
Thanks. And friends, apart from this, I have also read about Deepak sir that he has done a lot of work regarding getting the public speaking skills to kids also, to children also. If I'm not wrong, so please correct me if I'm. Thank you, sir. So now this was the oldest member, Toastmaster member in the room. Now let's have the newest member in the room sharing with us about her objectives. Toastmaster Divya.
Okay. Okay, so it was a one fine day when I was promoting my Gujarati film in Gujarat, somewhere in Rajkot, I remember. And there were like 180 students where I had to give my speech and speak Gujarati dialogue from the movie. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, I mean, I have no idea how I'm going to deliver that dialogue. But the moment I holded the mic, I held the mic in my hands and I started speaking, and I was speaking for 15 minutes. I was like, wow, that was not expected from me. And then they were like back to back promotions for like 28 days, and I was so confident in all of them. But while pursuing my career as an artist, I I think 2 years back, I somehow got this feeling that I want to be a soft skill trainer and a public speaker, because this is something really comes naturally to me. My husband, actually, I got married last year, and my husband has one of the friend Ajay, someone who is from Bangalore. He used to be one of the best Toastmasters in Bangalore, and I met him in Bangalore. And when I
Thanks,
was talking,
Divya. Divya, thanks. We will be just wrapping up the thing.
okay,
We will be just getting back to you in a while. Now, let me introduce to you one of the most significant roles in Toastmasters. To tell you by experience, many people think about this role as a most tough, most tough job in a meeting. But I would like to ask some of the people. I would like to tell you about the daring task, inspirational task done by the timer for the day, Toastmaster Akriti Jain. She really took up this task, and when I asked about her objectives in Toastmasters, she told me that she is a marketing professional and was very enthusiastic about Toastmasters and like public speaking, etc. And now, as she is a member of the club, she can see herself improving every week. And also, she has realized, like all of us, that it is the place, CDTM is the place to be associated with for a long term. So help me welcome on the screen, timer for the day, Toastmaster Akriti with the introduction of her role.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So, while riding or driving a car, what, according to you, are the important aspects of this activity? Some may say a bump free ride, smooth breaks and turns, less traffic, probably your consciousness, or time taken to complete the journey. Time, my dear friends, is like onion prices these days. It's expensive. Hence, it becomes our duty to utilize it wisely. So, in today's drive with TABOD, I will be more or less like a passenger who will be noting the time taken by each segment and in speakers individually. In this regard, allow me to throw some light on the various times allotted to different speakers, and which I will be indicating through the show of cards which are colored red, green, and yellow, which denote specific times remaining. Let me share my screen with you and tell you and give you a show of cards. All right. Are you able to see the screen? A thumbs up would work. Okay. Okay. So this is the green card. This is the yellow card. This one is the yellow card, and this one is the red card. Now, allow me to tell you what times have been allotted to what speakers. Auxiliary role players, they get 1 to 2 minutes to introduce themselves and to present their reports in the evaluation segment. The ice-breaking speeches should be ideally 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will show the green card. At 5 minutes, I will show the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will show the green card. At 6, I will show the yellow. And at 7, I will raise the red card. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. 1.5, I will raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Table topics evaluator get 40 seconds per speaker, so 3 to 4 minutes overall. The individual evaluations should be around 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will show the green card. At two and a half, I will show the yellow card. And at three, I will show the red card. I shall present my report at the end of the meeting. Be cautious, utilize your time wisely. Thank you, and back to the driver of the meeting, Toastmaster Digant.
Toastmaster Digant, you are on
Thanks.
mute.
Thanks, Toastmaster Akriti, for the introduction of your role. Now, let's have someone who has been in this club since last 2 months and has taken up many auxiliary roles and now is again back with a bang as language evaluator for the day. So help me welcome on the screen Toastmaster Pooja with introduction of her role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Digant. Driver seat means authorizing an individual to control the situation. It's a position of huge responsibility. A person with integrity and strong determination can lead the way of passengers sitting in his car. I, Pooja Kharbanda, is will be playing the role of language evaluator in today's meeting. I would like to share the word of the day, that is ruckus. It is used as a noun. Its synonyms are fuss, uproar, or turmoil. Its meaning is the act of making noise, a noisy disturbance. It can be used in sentence in the way I requested them to stop making such a ruckus. The children are creating quite a ruckus. Let's try to actively use this word as much as we can in today's meeting and improve our vocabulary along the way. As a language evaluator, I will be seeing the good use of language and not so good usages. And I will be seeing that some good vocabulary will be used in the meeting. I will be presenting my report in the end. Thank you from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Digan.
Yeah, thanks for your introduction, Toastmaster Pooja. Now is really a role which we all look up to whom we all give proper ear so that we can improve in future. So our next role is our counter. And to tell about our next role player, he was a reserved person and didn't interact with others and was having a little loss of confidence. And he joined Toastmasters to be that confident person. And after all the instances of interacting with members, he started opening more and started actually feeling more confident, and so confident that now he is also treasurer of our club. So help me welcome on the screen Toastmaster Karthik with his role of our counter.
Well, thank you, Digant, for that awesome introduction. Well, I've got a sore throat. I'll ensure that I'll make my voice heard. This is only a literal use of speech, nothing figurative. Whenever one is in the driver's seat, then she has to remain focused on what is happening on the road and take actions accordingly. While driving, you may have few close shaves, instances where you overtake, skip the red light. These might be few instances of aberrations in driving that are often a result of distraction or doing maneuvers impetuously. But one needs to recover quickly from such instances and not affect the driving so the passengers can actually reach home safely. Similarly, today we have a role of R counter. And while speaking, you may have few instances of ahs and ums and even pauses that are awkward. But it is important that we don't let them overshadow our speech and we recover quickly to deliver an effective speech. I, as the R counter today, will be noting down the usage of filler sounds like uhs and ums and using filler words saying, well, and maybe on other words that are not really in sync with your speech. Also, I'll be making note of repetitive usage. For example, you would say, so she went out. So you're doing a repetitive usage, maybe due to forgetfulness or any reason, but I'll be making note of such instances. So, and also after taking the note, I'll also submit a report during the evaluation segment so you can improve on them the next time you deliver a speech or interact. Well, thank you. That's it from my side. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thanks, Toastmaster Karthik, about your introduction. Now, friends, Toastmasters is not just having learnings only within the Toastmasters meeting only. It has utility outside Toastmasters also. And this I realized when I saw, when I asked Toastmaster Nipun about his views, who is going to be our parliamentarian for the meeting. So help me welcome. So he told me that he joined Toastmasters to improve his public speaking, and every Toastmasters makes him bold in dealing with his public speaking outside also. So help me welcome on the screen the parliamentarian for the meeting, Toastmaster Nipun.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. One should stay in control in every situation to have right success in life. We should always strive to stay in driver's seat. Whenever we are attending a meeting, we should stay in control, and this happens when we follow certain rules. Parliamentarian is someone who makes rules of the meeting and pursue every member to follow those rules. I am Nipun Ahuja and I am playing a role of parliamentarian in today's meeting. Now let me share some of the rules of today's meeting. Make sure that your mic is on mute once you have spoken. Mobile phones should be on silent or switched off if you are taking the meeting from laptop, and I will give you a few seconds to do so. Thank you. Avoid crosstalk during the meeting. Avoid using negative references related to caste, gender, and politics. Do not on or off your camera during speeches. This is all from my side. Back to your Toastmaster of the day.
Thanks, Toastmaster Nipun, for your introduction. Now, let's have the hot favorite role of any Toastmasters meeting in CDTM. This role is something which is going to be apple of everyone's eye, and this is going to be the listener for the day. Not to confuse, he also gives lots of goodies. So, friends, when I asked Toastmaster Saurabh Bindal about his objectives, he told me that his objective to join Toastmaster is to speak clear and gain confidence while speaking in front of large audience. So help me welcome on the screen the listener for the day, Toastmaster Saurabh Bindal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mittal, for welcoming me. Welcome to all Toastmasters and dear guests. Good evening, everyone. One of my known who is working in Sony TV has an interviewer had the privilege to meet with amazing people, legendary people through his speaking assignment, and finally got the lifetime opportunity out of so many people in his company to meet with Mr. Amitabh Bachchan in one assignment. She is so excited to meet him and made a list of questions she want to ask. So if you have 30 minutes with one of the biggest superstar of the country, you want to get as much as you can out of the meeting. So when she met Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, she introduced herself and he so much intrigue in her profession and say, "Oh, you are a speaker. Wow. How you start, how you prepare for the topic, how you prepare for your talk, how you evaluate your audience. Do you write your own speech? Do you memorize it?" Amitabh Bachchan asked so many questions to her. Where you go out? My God, he asked so many questions. That half an hour, she only spoke about herself. At the end of half an hour, Mr. Bachchan knew about her, then she knew about him. At the end of the meeting, what she got? Nothing. But Amitabh Bachchan got some information. He learned something new about a new profession. He understood something. But my friend came out of the meeting empty handed. Can you all Toastmaster waste this precious time and spend all time in speaking about yourself? Seriously, I always try to take this opportunity to listen carefully and ask maximum questions within 30 minutes. So, guys, we should listen. We should listen to people. Otherwise, we always share our knowledge and learning will finally stop. So, today I am Toastmaster Saurabh Bindal. Make the notes of the meeting. And just to test your listening skill, by asking few questions at the end of the meeting. Over to Digampita.
Thanks, Toastmaster Saurabh. Now, to tickle a funny, to have a funny session also, let's have on the screen the joke master for the day, Toastmaster Kashish. Now, when I asked him about his objectives, he told me that few days back he participated in a debate on population problem, in which he was really confident while speaking. And guess what? Which helped? What was the thing that helped him more? That was table topics. Now he feels much more better at speaking impromptu topics also. So help me welcome on the screen Toastmaster Kashish Jain, the joke master for the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Digan, for inviting me. I've seen a lot of girls. Mostly, they are intelligent. When there is a discussion outside examination hall, the girls are like, hey, of how many marks you have attempted? Yeah, I'll spoil my whole paper, I've only attempted of 98 marks. I missed two number questions. What will I say at home now? What? They think that it is spoiled? If you ask the same question with the boys like us, we are like, bro, I did well today. Attempted of 35 marks. If one or two will be wrong, then also 32 numbers have not gone anywhere. One or half grace marks will be given. If not, I have also attached a report of my father's diabetes. Bro, life is set now. Is it? Can be. I think most of us have traveled in train. Uh, when we are traveling in train, we see different variety of people. Some of them are daily passengers. They are ready with the cards in the pocket and can sit anywhere in the train and playing here and there. So, well, you will find another person who has every type of knowledge. He is a person who has every knowledge. He sits on the seat at the left side of the train, a single seat. I don't know what he is doing. I think he is changing his destiny there. Alright. If train stops anywhere, he is ready with his comment always. The train is standing on the outer. First Rajdhani will cross, then it will move. If train stops longer at any station, then also his comment comes. Engine will change now. What? You also change your engine. If train is moving slow, then also he comments. The train is 2 hours delayed. It will cover at night. He has every type of knowledge. Now, when at the last, when the passengers are deboarding at the station, he is finding his wife. Kahan gayi? And then another panwala tells, she had left at the last station, saying more than me, he takes care of me, the train. Let's hope you enjoyed. Bye. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thanks, Toastmaster Kashish. So, friends, now let me tell you about how a normal Toastmasters meeting functions in CDTM style. So, we have 3 sessions in any Toastmasters meeting. First session is prepared speech session. Now, can any one of you tell me, have you ever seen a cricket match? Okay. So, in cricket match, what happens? Those 11 players come, they play game. But for that performance of 1 day or 5 days, whatever be the format of the match, they work hard for a long time. The same way, we have prepared a speech session in which speakers come on the screen. They work hard for entire week or for a longer time, and they deliver a speech in front of us. Next is what I call as icebreaker session. It is like a magic wand for any Toastmasters meeting. It is table topic session in which people are chosen randomly and they are given a topic. It is not just something which is like just they are given the topic. Here we speak our heart out also. And last is general evaluation session. So in which everything that is going to happen throughout this meeting will get evaluated. So first, let me start with the prepared speech session, in which our first speaker is Toastmaster Dhwani. Now, when I asked Toastmaster Dhwani about her objectives, so she told me that throughout her school days of winning extempore contest, she has always thanked Toastmasters learning and impact on making her the kind of outspoken person that she is. Now, let's hear from let's listen from her evaluator, Toastmaster Gajendra, about her speech objectives first. Toastmaster Gajendra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Digant. So, Dhwani is going to deliver Project 1 from Level 2 Pathways Innovative Planning. Understanding your leadership style. The purpose of her project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership styles or styles. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of her primary leadership style or discuss and leadership style in general. Wish you good luck, Dhoni, and looking forward to listen your speech. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster.
So, Toastmaster Dhwani, your style, your choice. Your style, your choice. Toastmaster Dhwani.
Remember how your mom told you to do a task and never took no for an answer? Just keep that thought in your mind for the next few minutes. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. We have all had to listen, just listen, and nod with an okay instead of sharing our bucket full of ideas. It has made us feel so unworthy and it has made us feel so small in those moments. Disappointing, isn't it? When we have had to follow the normative rules in management and decision making with immediate compliance. But this type of leadership is known as the bureaucratic leadership style. It is one of the oldest leadership styles to exist, and I'll walk you through a story to make it a little more clear as to what I'm talking about. So there's an there's a businessman, an American businessman who was elected as the president of General Motors, and he believed in decentralized decision making and measured performances with continuous development. He was a practical guy that took calculated risks and always kept the consumer's needs in mind. He was a meticulous leader, but that could create a ruckus sometimes. So, according to him, organizational control was the key to success. But in the times that you and I live in, it's not that easy to follow that kind of leadership style. And thank God to that. But what are effective leaders if this General Motors president was not? So, an effective leader is excellent at his communication skills. He's a good communicator. He displays a high level of personal integrity. That person is open minded, optimistic, and that person leads by an example. Now, please keep those three words, lead by example, in your head. So I recall this teacher of mine way back in school. Not way back, I'm not that old. But yes, so there was this English teacher of mine who had a very different style of teaching us. I recall this one incident, a task that she had given us, in which she asked us to read novels. There was one novel she asked us to read, and she gave us a few days to cover it up, read through it. And then she said that you'll have to present your opinions in class in front of everyone, your takeaways from the story. And then you will have to write an essay. So an essay was followed by it. But she also added, now her tactic there was that she said, I will be doing the same thing. So she was also going to read the novel, and she was going to present her opinions and write an essay. So, what happened in this entire process was that there was a two-way communication. As soon as students were coming up in front of the class to present their opinions, she would add her opinion to it. And there was an intake by the student as to where and what could have been added, especially also in the essays, because she, instead of evaluating their essays, she presented her essay in the end for the students to really go through what all places they could have improved upon. Now, because there was a two-way communication, it felt as if the students were able to grasp more than what a person or a leader who is from an authoritative leadership style or a bureaucratic leadership style could not attain, sadly. So, in this effective way of getting everyone together, she also developed a relationship which made us respect the teacher a little bit more. So, this example is not only of obviously the coaching leadership style, but also an Elstrutic type of leadership, because she personalized the entire approach to meet the individual's needs, and she prepared these individuals who were students here to build their skills. So, what's my takeaway from all of this? That leaders who are authoritative and bureaucratic might get things done, but it leaves an impact on the entire well being of employees, which might even create demotivation and end up in failure as well. So, I've constantly seen people around me, and they have had their own different ways of leadership to keep us in hold all the silly ones in the best way possible. So, to sum up, I would like to say a good leader is a person who has an open mind and is an excellent communicator and one that leads by example, and so many other things. But I have taken the best of all the leaders that I have come across. So, me being an affiliative leader has not only helped the people around me develop a strong relationship with me, but also provide growth not only in me as an individual, but as an individual, as two people, we have grown together and even as a team. It depends on how a person communicates their ideas and is able to make others take it up, implement them, and then find the right output. You and I are leaders too. Toastmasters in itself forms leaders, but it is upon you which type of leader you choose to become. Now, I would like to quote in the end: the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things, but he is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. So keep leading with the right approach. And you know that Toastmasters has got your effective communicating part covered. But you'll have to figure out the right approach and watch how people around you are becoming better and better leaders too. Thank you. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thanks for such a nice speech, Toastmaster Dhwani. Even I was feeling much more inspired by your speech, and specifically about how you created a positive atmosphere around you with your leadership style also. Now, friends, let me ask all of you, how many of you went through this, faced this interesting timing of renewals in your membership, of your Toastmasters membership? Okay, Karthik has faced 2 times, and Kashish has faced 1 time, and Karan has faced 1 time. So, telling you about Karan himself, our next speaker, when I used to talk to him, he used to tell me that whenever this interesting cycle happens of renewal, he always looks always analyzes his past performance in Toastmasters as to how he went through in achieving his objective for which he signed up for Toastmasters. And to tell you, he also is working towards his team building skills as well as his public speaking skills, and most importantly, one skill where he can spontaneously answer someone's questions, or he can spontaneously talk. So help me welcome on the screen our next speaker. But before calling him on the screen, let's hear from his evaluator, Toastmaster Shivali, about his speech objectives. Toastmaster Shivali.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Digan. Yeah, I'm here. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So today, Toastmaster Karanveer is going to deliver his project 2 level from level 2, innovative planning. The purpose of this project is for the members to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. I wish the speaker all the best. Over to TMOD.
Thanks, Toastmaster Shivali. Now help me welcome on the screen Toastmaster Karanveer. Seek out why. Seek out why. Toastmaster Karanveer.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Digant, the driver of the day, and a very good evening to all my fellow passengers, Toastmasters, and guests. Since we are already on a ride today, let's take a quick detour and take some another ride. Today, I'm going to take you all to another ride, which is a ride to my own school. Are you all excited to go on a ride with me? With a wave of hands, say yeah. Can you show a wave of hand? All right. So before we go on this ride, I'll quickly show you some photographs of my school so that we all can relate really well. Well, my school is a little bit different from what usually is the school. All right. Is the screen visible, my friends? I suppose it is now. So this was my school. This one too. This was me, a very slimmer version of me than what is right now. And please do take note of the dress I am wearing. That was my school uniform. And this was our morning assembly. So since now we have quickly gone through the photographs, so from class 1 to class 10th, I was in this school, which is named Akal Academy. This is a Sikh school, basically associated with Sikhism, where we were taught to live a very simple and religious life, along with studying all the other subjects. But how was the school different for me? So every morning, we all used to gather 1,500 of the students, go to the school, and for 1 hour, we used to do nothing but chant God's name and read religious texts. After that, the day started. We always had this additional subject called divinity, where we were supposed to read religious texts. When there was a lunch break or recess, our recess was not the normal one where we get where the bell rings and we get started with the lunch, but our recess was different. First, we used to pray to God. Then we all used to collect together in the grounds, sit together on the floor, have our lunches together, and then again pray after we had finished our lunch. And our dresses were very simple. It was not a shirt pant, but a very simple kurta pajamas that I just showed you a few minutes ago. I just showed you a few minutes ago. Now, having such a routine, was very difficult for me. Why? Because we were very young. It's around class 6th or 7th. I was 11 or 12-year-old. And I felt this thing is so useless. Why am I being forced to do this? Every morning I'm going there and sitting and doing nothing. Also, that dress that I was wearing, I was very afraid of that dress. Every morning I used to say to my mom, I'm wearing this for the last time now. Please get me a shirt, pant. I want to switch my school now. We, of course, were immature. We all were being forced to do that. And my parents didn't take me out of that school. And somehow I reached my class 10th, after which I changed to another school. I was so happy to go to another school just because of the fact that I will be now wearing a shirt and a tie with a pant and not wearing that kurta pajama. I wanted to look smart. How can I keep wearing that thing? Few months down the line, I started my preparation for the college entrance exams. The life turned monotonous, all the excitement of new dress gone away. And I went into this cycle of reading self-help books. Some of us are already into that cycle. So one book that I picked up was called The Morning Miracle by Hal Elrod. So what does the book say in a nutshell is that to have a good day, you need to have a good morning. To have a good morning, you need to start it in the right way. You need to practice gratitude. You need to sit silently. You need to exercise, and you need to take control of your morning to take control of your day. There was another book which I read and which somehow made me realize that our lives are not linked to ourselves. We will only become happy and satisfied when we serve others. Now, this thing was overwhelming for me. You know why? Because I realized that the same thing I was doing in the school itself. And I felt ridiculous for that. When they were making me do those things, sitting in the morning for 1 hour, we were actually kind of meditating and practicing gratitude towards God. In our schools, we had that tradition of langar, which is serving other people, and pangat. Pangat basically means that we all will sit together and have lunches because no one is different. Everyone is equal and all will sit together. So these were some of my lessons from Sikhism and from being a part of Sikh school. But these all were not applicable to me unless I read those books and got the reasons why those things are working for me. So, friends, do you know what I want you to do now is I want all of you to start seeking reasons. Seek out why. Everything that you are doing for a reason. You may or may not know that. Go back to your reason because that will give you greater clarity. During our school days, after a school was over, what we used to do is our mom or father used to come and pick us up, and we used to tell them our whole day. Mom, do you know that it was Bobby's birthday today, and he gave me 2 extra chocolates. Mom, do you know Shivaji brought Maggie, but she didn't share it with me. We shared everything wholeheartedly. We were already doing that, and today when this mental health issue came around few weeks back, we all said that we wanted someone to talk about it. But do we realize that we were already doing that? So all I want from you now today is slow down, take a break, look inside yourself. You are doing those things. Seek out why, and let me tell you, the truth might surprise you, my friends. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thanks, Toastmaster Karanveer, for such a nice speech. Now, timer, may I know that are there any disqualifications on the basis of time for the speeches?
No.
Okay, so I think we can launch the polls, and here it is. We are just, okay. So here I end the polling. That was really a cutthroat competition. Now, friends, has anyone of you heard about a fact that Toastmasters not only caters to the people who are above the age of 18 years and above, but also below 18 also. Other than means Deepak sir has worked a lot about upon Gavalier upon that also, but we all know, most of us know in the room. So our next session master is was a Gavalier. She was in that club where we cater to the kids, to the teenagers who are below the age of 18. And so she told me that she is really enthusiastic about Toastmasters, and Toastmasters is like her life itself. So help me welcome on the screen table topic master for the day, Toastmaster Ishna Jain. Toastmaster Ishna Jain.
Thank you, Toastmaster Digant. How many of us drive a car? Now, when I don't know if you got this lesson or not, but my first lesson while driving was while driving, you are responsible for your life, the passenger's life, and of the fellow drivers around you. You basically, especially in India, no offense, but it's true, especially in India, you will be driving your car like this. Somebody will come and jump a red light and bam, unless you're smart enough and you're alert enough to stop right there. Point being, you need to think on your toes. You need to be alert all the time while you drive a car. Similarly, table topic session is what table topic session is about. Thinking on your feet, being spontaneous. But today we have a little different kind of session. What I have in store for you is that usually what we do is there are few topics that I create and you choose among them and speak. But today, the first speaker will get a topic from the audience and then the speaker will give a topic to the next speaker. For example, if I am the first speaker and I speak on the topic, say my first day at Toastmasters. Next time the next speaker comes up, I will be giving the topic to the next speaker. And then the next speaker will be giving a topic to the third speaker. Is it okay? So now you can volunteer by raising a virtual hand. So do we have any volunteers? Toastmaster Kashish?
Yeah.
Audience, the car is in your hand. You're at the driving seat. Come up with the topic. Anybody? Yes, Divya.
So I want to know, my topic for him would be growing up, childhood to adulthood. What is that one thing that you badly miss and you want that to come back into the current situation?
Thank you, Divya, for giving me such a nice topic to talk to. Um, I want to, from my childhood, I am really a person who has been strictly said that only focus on your goals, don't do fun, it will harm yourself. But now, when I am grown up, I used to think that if I would have done fun, because it was my childhood. So I remember that what fun I would have done. I would have um, I would have done swimming, dancing, some of the passions that I wanted to follow for the fun, dancing at the party, like uh, at the barat, and but I think that it is nice for me that I focus on my goals because we all want to achieve we all want to be at the mountains, but we don't but the main fun is while going to the mountain, climbing the mountain. So I appreciate that my parents did these things and tell me that only focus on your goals. Don't do. But somehow I also wish that I have done a lot more fun, uh, give some uh, parties with my friends and something different. Like so, all I want to do is fun, which I remember now. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kashish. And just so you know, I completely feel you because that is a regret I've had too. But remember, it's never too late to party. Okay.
Definitely, that's right. Now I do it.
Okay, so now it's your turn to give a topic. Do we have any volunteers?
Mm,
Toastmaster Saurabh?
a flower does not see other people, it just blooms. Don't compare yourself, it's your own race. As it's your topic, don't compare yourself, it's your journey.
Uh, Thank you, Kashish Chan, for giving a topic like talking about the flower and is like basically in this world we come uh, it, from the childhood we grow as a teenager and we see our parents, right? We see our other friends in school we follow the teachers and everything, but at one time like after some age we realize like we should not follow like anybody. For example, I have seen many people in life like for example like in my surroundings like people at age 50, 60, people follow others. Like for example, uh, I give like many people in this world, like people start following others while I think that's somewhat a good habit, but after some age, like we should have our own identity, right? So we should talk about the new things, like the unique things, like nobody can speak about and all this. Like we should read the books. And for example, one of my friend, he's from the good institute, right? He know much better at my age, but I still following people. like like at some age I think we should stop following the people and make our own identity, because because we all are under the god, right? So we should never follow always the people, because some people always all the time, like even at age 60, 70, 80, like people start following others. Like what is the point of following others? I think we are under the god, and we should leave everything about the god, and make our own identity in this world. Over to Toastmasters Kashish Chan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. It was really a nice speech from you to listen about this topic. Over to you, Toastmaster Aishna.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kashish. Would any of the guests like to try? Guest Ashwin. Toastmaster Divya, would you like to try? Toastmaster Saurabh, can we please have a topic?
Yeah.
Can I try
Yeah.
to give the topic?
Yeah. Tell about your favorite friend you have.
My favorite friend.
Yeah.
Okay, so my husband is my best friend. I remember I met him 3 years back, and we both were models at the same time. We were in the party, and he was Mr. India 2014 finalist. I was Miss India 2014 finalist, and we were sitting in the same same aisle of the seats. And I remember we were talking about all the etiquette training that they were giving us, and we started talking at 8:15 and we were talking till 11:30 p.m. So that was like the first like the very first moment when I was wondering, oh my god, this is the first guy I've talked to, so we had same interest and we had same goals and aspirations and dreams. So this is what my favorite part about my best friend and my husband. So yeah, that's for my best friend thing. Thank you. Over to you, Saurabh.
Yeah. Now, any volunteer like who want to speak?
Toastmaster Deepak Menon is raising his hand. Toastmaster Ashna and Saurabh.
Do we have a topic
So
for Deepak, sir?
Oh, I
Yes.
can give him if you want.
I
Deepak,
have
go
a
ahead.
topic.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I have a topic for sir. Okay,
Sure.
my first Toastmasters rule.
I think Eshna seems to have some other opinion here. Eshna, do you want to do something else?
No, sir. Anything.
Oh, okay, fine. So
Up to you.
you'd like, okay, thank you. Thank you for the topic. So the topic that has been given to me is my first Toastmasters role. If I go back into my memory to figure out what my first Toastmaster role was in 2002, I will abjectly and miserably fail in trying to recall that first role that I must have played in the Toastmasters Club of New Delhi when I attended as a member. But I certainly remember my first meeting at the Toastmasters Club of New Delhi, which I alluded to a little while ago when we started this meeting. I recall walking into the meeting a few minutes early. It was in Hoskas Village, the meeting venue at the Office of Care India. And I remember that there was a group of wonderful people. They were very happy, they were very energetic, and they were so welcoming. It just seemed such a warm family to be a part of. But of course, I did not want to join Toastmasters. I just was there for the experience. The meeting started and it seemed to be fun, very professional, everybody speaking very well. And I knew I could speak as well as them. And then it was time for table topics. And the table topics master, just like Eshna, announced that topics would be allowed or provided to the individuals who would like to speak, or volunteers would be picked up. So you would be voluntold to speak on topics. And that immediately caused a ruckus amongst the people gathered there because nobody wanted to be called upon. They thought it would be better if they volunteered. In any case, the table topics master started with the topics. And in one instance, the table topics master called me to speak on table topics. And I remember that I stood up and I walked up to the stage. But I do remember that my feet felt like lead at that time as I was walking up to the stage. And I was wondering what was going on. And my heartbeat kept racing. It just seemed to be some kind of a palpitation that was taking place. I thought I was having a heart attack. I'd never experienced something like that before in my life. But somehow I managed to get to the stage and I managed to get to hear the topic. And I'm wondering what's happening to Akriti Jain because she's not shown me any timing cards yet. So I hope that I'm not over time completely. But to continue with my table topics journey there, I remember being asked a question and I remember that I don't remember what that topic was. It was an awful experience that I had that day. And I wish that nobody has that experience and everybody has that experience. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Deepak sir. I think this was the icing on today's cake. Now that brings us to the end of the session. Timer, do we have any disqualifications?
No.
Can we please have the ballots for the best table topic speaker?
Excuse me, Zoom master, tech master, is the polling updated now? Okay, I'm
Yes,
launching.
it has been.
So here I end the poll. So friends, when I asked our next session master, the general evaluator for the meeting, she told me that she joined Toastmasters because she thought that she started losing her command over language after coming in college. And to maintain the continuity and confidence of public speaking, she joined Toastmasters. And she learned to be confident while speaking from Toastmasters. And this learning is actually helping her now. Where? Now, where she's working with the club as a part-time trainer, where she's helping kids master the art of public speaking. That is really an inspiration in itself. So help me welcome on the screen Toastmaster Janvi, the general evaluator for the day. Thank you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I welcome you to the most important segment of the Toastmasters meeting, that is the evaluation segment. We have had some great drivers in our meeting today who have successfully helped us go through a lot in the meeting, and we have finally managed to reach our destination wherein we can learn to improve and apply everything of today's meeting so that we can improve and work on it and be even more better speakers and learners from next meeting onwards. So I'll be serving as the general evaluator for today's meeting, and I'll be evaluating these speech evaluators, and I have my team of auxiliary role players and who would be presenting their reports in this segment, and after their reports I will be evaluating them. and I'll be giving my general evaluation about the meeting in general after their evaluations. So without any further ado, let's just quickly dive into this segment. So firstly, I would like to call upon our first evaluator of the evening, Toastmaster Gajendra, who would be evaluating our first speaker, Toastmaster Dhwani's speech. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Gajendra.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Uh, Today evening, the Toastmaster Dhwani as a speaker drove me into my childhood. I feel nostalgic about my childhood memories when my mom used to give me a lot of feedback and lot of shout at me when I am doing something wrong. So to start with something which is very catchy and it's relatable to all, it was wonderful start, the wonderful opening which the speaker did today. It was a catchy title also, your style, your choice. And what I was thinking to looking forward the speech to listen more. Now coming on to the recommendation, speech organization to start with and to tell the bureaucratic leadership style by narrating the example of the president General Motor Electric. The good content was there, and to prove her point with the example, it was very well done. The body and the conclusion at the end, she has also given the message, and there was a good amount of content was incorporated in the entire speech. It was great eye contact. When I observed all the time, I have seen that she was looking at the eyes of the audience. She was flawless. It clearly shows that she was perfect. She practiced her speech a lot, and then she looks confident while giving her speech. The good hand gesture. Why? Because it was practiced speech and then she had used her stage, and whenever it is necessary, it was a very appropriate gesture. It gives the confidence of the speaker that she has a command over the language and she is surely know what she is going to talk about. She has proved her things from the example by coaching the taking the example, another example by her teacher, and then proved the second bureaucratic second style of leadership, which was the altruistic or the coaching leadership style. Now coming on to, as the speaker was flawless, confident, and every ingredient was there in a good speech, but it is always there for the scope of improvement for the top. At some point of time, I have feel then the pace was little much higher. The speaker was speaking so engrossed, then she forget about to dilute his message to the audience. Then she was jumping from one point to the another story. She took not any pauses in between. Second thing, the speech objective was also then to discuss her own personal leadership style, which was not taken care of, because I was looking forward to listen more of her leadership style. All in all, it was a wonderful speech. For me, it was comfortable, flawless, confident speech, very interesting, and very good choice of the topic. Take away for me, if you want to be a good leader, you must be open minded, you have to have excellent communication, and you have to lead by example. And definitely, the leader which can make do the great things by the people. So all in all, good luck, and over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gajendra, for such a nice evaluation. Next, let's call upon our second evaluator for today's evening, Toastmaster Shivali, who would be evaluating our second speaker, Toastmaster Karanveer. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Shivali.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Janvi. Good evening once again. Speak out why. The moment I heard this title, the why in the title caught my attention. I was curious to know what would speaker share with us. I really liked the way speaker began the speech by showing his school picture. It was quite engaging. And I love to see pictures, so I was quite engaged. After that, I loved the way speaker gave his personal examples where he talked about the lessons he learned related to Sikhism from his school. Again, relatable things. Coming to the second thing, which I really liked about the speaker, that eye contact and the hand gestures. I found that throughout the speech, speaker made a proper eye contact and used very natural hand gestures, which showed that speaker was confident and he was enjoying his speech with a smile. Kudos to that. As we know that every speech has an area of improvement, so I have few recommendation for the speaker. Number one is voice modulation. I found that speaker used the same pitch throughout the speech, though he was really enjoying his speech by giving amazing examples, I would say. But there was a point when speaker used a sentence where speaker said that his life.
Just a second, I think it's battery is done. Am I audible?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was talking about a dialogue where speaker said that his life turned monotonous. That time I found the speaker could have used a little bit more sadness in his voice. For example, speaker could have said like this, that my life turned monotonous. This thing could be improved by practice. Second, I felt that speaker concluded his speech I felt that speaker concluded his speech very shortly. I was expecting that speaker could have given 2 to 3 examples of finding the purpose. The speech title where the speaker was talking about that why. So I was expecting that if speaker could have used more things to tell in the end that how we could find out the purpose of our life. Coming to the conclusion part, so I would say that speaker used relatable example and showed great confidence by making proper eye contact and hand gesture. Little bit work on voice modulation and conclusion part could make the speech part better. At last, I would say the takeaway. So for me, the takeaway was that we should know the purpose of the things we are doing in our life. So I wish the speaker all the best for his future speeches. Thank you so much. Over to Journal Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shivani, for providing your valuable feedback. Next up, we have our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Ankit, who would be evaluating our table topic speakers. So please help me welcome the table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Ankit.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests, and a special good evening to all the speakers that presented their speech in the table topic segment. So let's start evaluating them one by one. Our first speaker was Toastmaster Kashish. Topic was whether things that he's missing while growing up. After listening to his speech, I can say that he's missing dancing, he's missing partying, and many other things. So that means he presented his speech as per the topic. And for the table topic, the most important thing is that you need to be on the point. You need to be around the topic. So good job by the speaker. One suggestion that I have for the speaker is that in the initial 30 seconds, he was just rushing here and there. I was unable to connect that what he's about to talk about. And one more point of suggestion is that if, instead of highlighting so many things, if he had presented just one or two things that he is missing, that would have been great. All in all, great job by the Toastmaster speaker, Kashyap. Moving on to next speaker, the Toastmaster Saurabh Bendal. After listening to his speech, what I learned is that because of society pressure, rather because of society setup, we are comparing ourselves. So that is the argument that he put forward for the topic, that is don't compare yourself. He also presents one more argument is that since God has created everything, so how can we be same? So there's no point in comparing. So good job by the speaker by presenting that the topic. One suggestion is for him is that So the topic was that don't compare yourself. So if he had presented that what is his principal argument, why he is thinking so, he presented why society is thinking that's why we are doing this thing. The idea should have been that why he is thinking we should not compare. If he had highlighted that we are unique, that how he is unique, that's why he is not comparing, instead of highlighting the whole story. Moving on to next speaker, Toastmaster Divya. Topic was favorite friend. Instantly, she picked up the topic. She was really confident. Her speech was quite well organized. How he met his best friend, her favorite friend, and how his journey moving from that point to the current. Just one suggestion for her is that since the topic was favorite friend, once the word favorite is there, that means why he is favorite. What are the principal traits of that friend? If she had highlighted that point, that how that person is relevant for his life, she had highlighted how she met her. If she had presented why he is favorite, why he is so relevant in his life, that would have been much better. All in all, great job by the well delivered speech, well crafted, and nicely presented. Now, the last speaker, that is speaker number 4, Toastmaster Deepak Menon. I don't have any words to say as usual because if you look at the topic was my first Toastmaster role. If I would have been in his place, I would have highlighted that I was in that table topic or my first speech. But what he did, he started from the beginning, the moment that he entered into the hall. In simple words, you can say that we asked him to present a trailer, he presented a movie. So that was with all of these things through. That means the opening, that means the vivid imaging that he created in the beginning, then moving on to the table topic segment, then moving on to the climax. The best thing that I liked was that he was well aware of about the time. Though timer, I believe, was so mesmerized in his speech, he forgot to show the time. But he didn't forget. That's a sign of intelligent presentation. So many things are learning for me. And I must say, if he had presented his speech in the beginning, then other three speakers presentation would have been much higher. So all in all the best for all the four speakers for the upcoming speech. And I hand over stage back to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Jani. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ankit, for such a detailed evaluation. Now it's time for us to vote for the best evaluator. Techmaster, can we please have the ballots? Okay, so as we are already running late, so I would want the auxiliary role players who were really good drivers for us throughout the meeting to help us achieve our goals and present their reports. So firstly, I would like to invite our timer of the day, Toastmaster Akriti, to present her report. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So, not wasting any time, let's dive into the time taken by the speakers. So, the coming to the auxiliary role players, we had first language evaluator Pooja, who took 1 minute 10 seconds for the introduction. Then we had our counter Karthik, who took 1.5 minutes. Then we had the parliamentarian TM Nipun, who took 1 minute 10 seconds. Listener Saurabh took 2 minutes 52 seconds, and the joke master Kashish also took 2 minutes 52 seconds. Coming to the speech segment, the prepared speeches segment, Speaker Dhwani took 6 minutes and 56 seconds, and Speaker Karanveer took 6 minutes and 46 seconds. The table topic session was a pretty elongated one with 16 minutes and 38 seconds. TM Kashish took 2 minutes. Saurabh took 2 minutes 14 seconds. TM Divya took 1 minute and 50 seconds. And DTM Deepak sir took 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Coming to evaluations, TM Gajendra took 3 minutes and 11 seconds. TM Shivali also took 3 minutes 11 seconds. And table topic evaluator Ankit took 4 minutes and 44 7 seconds, taking an average of 1 minute 10 seconds per speaker. So thank you. That was the end of my report. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akriti, for your report. Next, let's call upon our language evaluator, Toastmaster Pooja, to present her report. Over to you.
Thank you, Janvi. Good evening once again, my fellow Toastmaster. I am here with my my report as a language evaluator. First of all, I would like to tell about the good usages. That some of the good usages in the meeting were close shave, apple of everyone's eye, down the line, cutthroat competition, thinking on your feet was used for the word spontaneous, bucket full of ideas. And some good vocabulary was used in the meeting, that was legendary, nostalgic, magic wand, meticulous. Uh, Kudos to Deepak sir and Dhwani. They both have used the word of the day, that was ruckus. Now, some of the not so good usages, how you started, it could be used, how have you started? Then ask a question with the same boy. It could be done in this way. Ask a question from the same boy. Then at the left side, it could be used as on the left side. Train stops longer at any station. Train stops for long at any station. And how normal meeting function. It should be used as how does normal meeting function. Then looking forward to listen to your speech. Looking forward to your speech. How you created the environment, it could be done in this way. Looking that how have you created the positive environment. Then next was my school is different. It could be my school was different. So that's all from my side. uh, Over to you, Janvi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pooja, for your report. Next, let's call upon the hour counter of the day, Toastmaster Karthik, to present his report. Over to you.
Well, since today we seem to be short on time, I'll just skim through the report. Our acting president, Toastmaster Nitin, in his inaugural address, had just one filler word. He said, you know. Then a Toastmaster of the day. He kept me on the edge of my eardrums. He had 4 hours, 8 filler words, 2 long pauses, and 1 repetition. The favorite between being so. Our counter, the auxiliary role player in myself, in the inaugural introduction, I used so 2 times. The joke master in his standard act had said and 1 time. The timer was flawless. I didn't find any issues there. Then the parliamentarian again as well in the opening address, in the opening introduction, couldn't find much issues. The language evaluator used 2 hours as the filler sounds. Listener Toastmaster Saurabh Bindal, he had 2 repetitions. Then amongst the speaker, Toastmaster Dhwani was flawless. Toastmaster Shivali, Toastmaster Eshna, Toastmaster Deepak Menon, Toastmaster Janvi, Toastmaster Ankit, the table topping master. All of you get a clean chit. I didn't find any issues anywhere. Toastmaster Khare, the evaluator, had 2 hours and 2 repetitions of saying she out of context. Then Toastmaster Karanveer, he had 1 filler word saying now. Then I won't be harsh on the table topics master and the table topic speakers, but Kashish had 3 filler sounds. Toastmaster Saurabh had 4 filler sounds, 3 filler words. He used you know 3 times. Then he had 2 repetitions saying people and we should multiple times. Toastmaster Divya had just 1 filler sound and 2 filler words. So yeah, all in all, I mean didn't see a lot of indiscipline in terms of using filler sounds and filler words, and didn't see any heavy distractions from the speaking. The table topics session was had a lot of long pauses, but doesn't comes in my ambit, I would say. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Karthik, for such a detailed report. Next, let's call upon our parliamentarian of the day, Toastmaster Nipun. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Nipun.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Now let me submit my report. The meeting went positively. However, there were some members switching on or off their camera, which is not a good practice. Also, someone's phone were ringing or vibrating. So kindly try to take care that this wouldn't happen next time. And there were no comments on by members on religion, politics, or gender. And overall meeting went smooth and nicely. This is all from my side. Back to the General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nipun. Now let's welcome somebody who would test our listening skills because we had some great speeches this evening and some great table topic speeches as well. So, in order to test your listening, let's welcome the listener of the day, Toastmaster Saurabh. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Janvi. Thank you so much for giving wonderful introduction. And now there are two speeches, especially Dhwani and Karamveer Singh today. Both are the wonderful speeches. I learned a lot from these speeches. So basically, my questions for today are: first is Divya Mishra gave confidence speech in Gujarat. Everybody knows. In front of how many students Divya Mishra gives speech? Any idea?
180 or 190, I remember.
Right, it's 180.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
Divya, but like these questions are for people except you because you already know the answer. So my second question is like everyone like should have a school life like Karamveer Singh, right? So he's reading many books there. So who is the author of the book Morning Miracle he read in school? Any idea? Who is the author of the book Morning Miracle he read in school? Please don't Google it. Yeah, tell. Counter.
Yeah, it's Hal Elrod. Hal was in my memory. Elrod is from Google. I am guilty.
Yeah, he's a very big personality. So, the last question a little bit difficult. So basically, how many Dhwani talking about her speech very in detail the dealership style. So how many dealership style he's talking, she's talking in his speech, and please name them.
It should be 4. Am I right or am I not right? Because then I'll continue with the next part.
Uh, no, it's not for.
Okay.
You are close to answer.
I know the leadership styles. It was affiliative, then altruistic, then coaching. These three were perfectly there, and I don't know the next ones.
Bureaucratic.
So anybody? Yeah, bureaucratic for.
May I try?
Uh,
So
May I try?
basically, there are five dealership styles. One is bureaucratic, second is authoritative, affiliative, coaching, and altruistic leadership style. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to Toastmasters.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saurabh, for testing our listening skills today. Now it's time for us to vote for the best auxiliary role player. Techmaster, can we please have the ballots? Okay, since we are running late, so I'll start with my report by the time the ballots are being collected. So, starting with the sergeant at arms, Toastmaster Nipun was the sergeant at arms. He had a great start. He connected it with the theme, and he was very confident. And just one recommendation for the sergeant at arms, that he could have started the meeting with a smile, and probably that would have enhanced his delivery. Otherwise, he was very good and he didn't hesitate, and he delivered the mission of the Toastmasters Club wonderfully. Coming over to our acting president, Toastmaster Nitin, he had a great start, a very engaging start, because he delivered his own personal story and I could relate it with it very much, and it was very motivating and inspiring. Though he was the acting president, but it didn't look like he was performing this role for the first time, because he was very confident and he covered all the points. He introduced the guests very well and he gave a wonderful presidential address. So I have no recommendations for Toastmaster Nitin. Coming over to the table topic master, Toastmaster Eshna, she had a great start and she explained the session and her segment wonderfully, because she had brought in a twist to her session. She had a different way of dealing with the table topic session, but she explained her session really well. So that was kudos and a job well done to Toastmaster Eshna. I have one recommendation for her, that she could have told the time for the table topic session once more, so that the guests and everybody can know that they have to speak for 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes, and so the speakers can utilize the 1 minute properly. Now coming over to our evaluator, the first evaluator was Toastmaster Gajendra. He is a veteran Toastmaster and he delivered the evaluation wonderfully. He delivered the evaluation in such a great positive sense, and he presented his evaluation confidently. The only recommendation I have was that I felt that he could have added one or two more recommendations for the speaker. As a whole, he was wonderful in presenting his evaluation and he was very confident. Coming over to our second evaluator, Toastmaster Shivali, who is also a veteran Toastmaster and also the winner of our evaluation contest. So she was again very confident in delivering her evaluation. Then she had a smiling face throughout her evaluation, which I feel is something that enhances the delivery a lot. And moreover, one more commentation that I have for the evaluator is that she was citing examples as well. For example, if she was giving any recommendation, she was also recommending how the speaker can improve. So that was a job very well done by the evaluator. I do not have any recommendation for the evaluator. Now coming over to the table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Ankit, again a veteran Toastmaster and a great evaluator. He followed the proper CRC approach, that is commendation, recommendation, and commendation. For all the speakers, he had at least one recommendation for every table topic speaker, and that was something really good and a job very well done by the table topics evaluator. Again, I have no recommendation for the table topics evaluator. Now coming over to the auxiliary role players, since we are running short on time, I'll quickly tell the timer. Akriti connected her introduction very well with the theme and she was precise in her report. Only recommendation that she should be more alert so that she doesn't miss out on showing her card this time. Okay, coming over to the language evaluator, Toastmaster Pooja, she was great. She connected it with the theme very well, and she gave in suggestions as well during her report that instead of using a particular statement, how I mean, she corrected the sentences as well, so that was very good. And one recommendation that I have for Toastmaster Pooja is that she forgot to tell the rule of the thumbs up, that we acknowledge the speakers with a thumbs up whenever somebody uses the word of the day. Now coming over to our counter, Toastmaster Karthik, he was great. He explained his role properly. He connected it with the theme and he presented his report very well with great use of idioms. And I have no recommendation for Toastmaster Karthik. Coming over to our parliamentarian, Toastmaster Nipun, he was confident in presenting his introduction. And one point that I really liked about the parliamentarian was that he told that not to turn off the cameras again and again during the speeches because it's distracting. So that was one thing that was really good to be highlighted by the parliamentarian. Next, coming on to the listener, Toastmaster Saurabh, he was very alert and he presented really good questions to each of us. And only one recommendation is that in his introduction, I heard the introduction, I think, for the second time. So I would recommend Toastmaster Saurabh to connect the introduction with the theme and always come up with a new introduction every time. That would help you as well. As a whole, he was really good. Again, the joke, coming on to the joke master, he was very good. He acted the joke, so that enhanced his delivery. And I just a recommendation that he used a word in Hindi, he could have translated it and it would have added more effect to his delivery. Now coming on to the Toastmaster of the day, he was great. He had a great theme. He had a really curious start. He was engaging with the audience throughout the meeting by asking them questions. He had great humor, for example, and great punches. For example, he said that I like bread but not toast every time to explain Toastmasters. So that was really good. He kept the audience engaged. I have a few recommendations for the Toastmaster of the day, that his introduction was a bit long. So so we are running short. We were short on time. So he could have cut short his introduction. And I also felt that there was an abrupt stopping. He stopped a speaker abruptly in the middle just because we were running short on time. But I think that could have been avoided. Um, as a whole, he was really good. And one more recommendation, that he missed out on the 10-second feedback, that we have to provide 10 seconds to the members to give feedback to the speakers after the speeches. So, but as a whole, he was really good, very enthusiastic, great theme and great innovation to the Toastmaster of the Day's role by using the chat box and the screen and the background behind. Now the meeting in general, we were started 1 minute late. We started at 7:16, and I felt that all the members were not muted, so there was a bit disturbance. And as a whole, the meeting was great with a great theme. And now I would like to hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Digant.
Thanks, Madam General Evaluator. Friends, it was that I was into some corporate job which was having a different time zone, like 1 year back. And due to which I must not say, but I harshly ignored Toastmasters. That this is my job time, I don't want to go into it. But I realized after some time, there is something that was lacking in me. I was expert in all my work that was assigned to me, but I was lacking one thing. That was a positive atmosphere. In this time, we all might be facing some issues. Toastmaster is one of those areas where not only we learn, but also we feel positive. Many people, honestly, many people will be coming here for positivity, more importantly than learning also. But not to carried away by that thing, I realized one thing. It's not my boss. It's not my friends. It's not my brother or anyone else who is going to decide my growth. I am in charge of anything that happens with me. So are all of you in charge for everything that happens with all of you. It's our responsibility to develop ourselves. So friends, let's take a step towards being a driver in the seat of a car called our life. Because first step to leadership begins with the leader himself. Then comes the followers. With this, I hand over the stage back to the presiding officer, acting presiding officer for the meeting, Toastmaster Nitin Gautam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Digant. So, guys, it's time to cast your vote for the best role player. So, Toastmaster Karanvi, can we have the ballots, please? Toastmaster Karanvi, let me know when the votings are done.
I believe the polls are live, but I am not able to see any results.
All right. So by the time the voting gets finished, so I have a big announcement for you guys that as the festive season is around the corner, so we here at CDTM are also gearing up for something really special for all of us. So stay tuned for the next social media updates so that you get to know what's in store for all of us. So see you I see you guys in the Toastmaster Karimi. Let me know when the ballots are there.
Sure thing. Nitin, I'll have to leave the meeting and join in back in a minute, and then I'll be able to tell you the results. Let's
Okay,
continue with
just
the other awards for now.
all right. So here's the time for the result. So please turn on your cameras and unmute yourselves. So any guesses for the best speaker?
Dhwani.
Toastmaster Dhwani, Toastmaster Karanveer.
Karanveer.
Toastmaster Karanveer.
Toastmaster Dhwani, Toastmaster Karanveer.
Well, it goes to our VPPR, Vice President Public Relations, Toastmaster Karanveer. Now coming to the best table topic speaker. So guys, any guesses?
Toastmaster Deepak Menon, sir.
Hands down, Toastmaster, the DTM Deepak sir.
Well, correctly said by Toastmaster Akriti, hands down. It goes to our distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon, sir.
Thank you.
Any guesses for the best evaluator? Toastmaster Gajendra
Ankit
Khare,
Sinha.
Toastmaster
Ankit
Shivali,
Sinha.
Toastmaster Ankit.
Ankit Sinha.
Well, it goes to our veteran Toastmaster, Toastmaster Ankit Sinha. Any guesses for the best auxiliary role player?
Karthik.
It's our R counter for sure.
It's correctly said by Toastmaster Karanvi. It's an R counter, Toastmaster Karthik. Well, the last award that is best role player. So, any guesses? Toastmaster of the day, Digant, Ashna Jain, or Janvi Kapoor?
Janvi Kapoor.
Janvi.
Well, it goes to Toastmaster Janvi Kapoor.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Captain,
everyone.
Evaluator, Toastmaster Janvi.
Yes. So, guys, it's time here for the group photo. So, can we show a victory sign?
Just one more second. Say cheese. Thank you. It's done.
Thank you so much, everyone. So, see you next Tuesday at the same time, same venue. I hereby officially end the meeting, and guests are requested to move to the breakout rooms for the briefing, which will be conducted by me, that is Toastmaster VP membership Nitin Gautam. Hasta la vista. Good night,
Goodbye,
everyone.
everybody.
Nitin,
Bye,
Nitin,
everybody. Good night.
Nitin,
Yes,
Nitin,
Toastmaster sir.
Nitin,
Gajendra sir.
See you
Yes,
next
sir.
week.
Nitin,
हाँ
you
sir.
can ask for the feedback from the guest as well at
Uh,
the end of the meeting.
all right. So Ashwin is there. So Ashwin, would you like to share your views on our meeting?
Yeah, it's very good. I feel very positivity in session, and I hope I will continue further.
You are on mute by mistake.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I feel very positivity, and I hope I will continue further. I'm very
All right.
glad to join this Toastmaster. Thank you.
So Ashwin, you will be, shifted to breakout rooms. So please join there for the quick
Okay.
briefing, which will be done by me. Karanveer, please shift us to the breakout rooms.
Hello, Karan.
Hi, Digant. Hi, Shivali and Gajendra sir.
Hi Karan, how are you?
Sir, I'm
Finally,
good.
जैसे ही
Please
देखा ना कि ऑफिशियली मीटिंग 9:15 पे एंड हो रही है, मतलब बिल्कुल वो वाली फीलिंग आ रही थी, गर्दन पे बिल्कुल तलवार आके रुक गई, लिटरली बिल्कुल, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि
हो गया दिगंत 20 मिनट लेट चल रहा था बट स्पीकर कम थे फिर भी समझ गया।
हाँ, सब कवर अप हो गया सर।
असल में मेरे को अब समझ में आया,
सब कवर अप हो गया।
असल में मुझे अब समझ में आया मुझसे गलती क्या हुई। दीपक मेनन सर से तो मैंने इंट्रोडक्शन ले लिया, लाइक दीपक मेनन सर का बेस्ट इसलिए लगा मुझे क्योंकि एक्चुअल में ही इज अ पर्सनैलिटी, मतलब ही इज एक्चुअली समवन हु हैज कैरिज्मा। लेकिन मुझसे गलती ये हो गई कि मैंने दिव्या को बोला, उसने ज्यादा खींच दिया, मुझसे ये गलती हो गई।
अरे नहीं, शी माइट हैव फेल्ट कि मुझे रोका गया ऐसे बीच में थोड़ा सा।
हाँ, मैंने यार मेरे को बीच में इंटरप्ट इसलिए करना पड़ा, अगर वो खींचती ना उसके बाद में मुझे समझ में आ गया था, अगर वो खींचती ना तो सीधा का सीधा 10 मिनट और जाते और फिर हम लोग ना चीख पुकार मचा रहे होते कि यार कैसे कम करा जाए टाइम। लिटरली मेरे को ये समझ में आया, सॉरी टू बी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड ऑन दैट, बट मेरे को ये समझ में आया था कि अगर मैंने उस टाइम नहीं रोका उससे तो 10 मिनट
दिगंत क्या होता है एक्चुअली, see that is the you have to keep very close eyes when you are doing the TMOD, because if you give the control of the stage to the guest and even if you interrupt it doesn't look fine, so you have to keep even in other future meetings, then you have to judge the guest from the guest introduction. If somebody is very talkative or communicative, don't give him a stage in future, because if you give in between the stage, he or she will kill your time. So that is like you have to be very vigilant while the guest introduction you are giving and they are speaking, because you can judge while they are speaking how much talkative they are. If they are talkative, don't give your stage control to them.
समझ रहा हूँ सर।
No, in fact, since Divya is new, so she doesn't know how long the meeting is and how things happen. If you give the same hint to Deepak sir,
Guest doesn't know, and then you call them to stage, and then you call them and you interrupt, then it is like a disrespect to the guest, right? So like you have even Toastmasters, we have to give the respect, integrity, service and excellence.
मैंने असल में सर सुना था कहीं पे, मतलब प्रोजेक्ट में ही, टोस्टमास्टर्स प्रोजेक्ट में, कि इन केस अगर जिस पर्सन से आप क्वेश्चन पूछें अगर वो ज्यादा खींच रहा हो तो यू कैन इंटरप्ट द
पहले उसको बोल दो, आप उसको या तो पहले बोल दो कि just a quick 1 minute or 30 seconds or you have to finish the talk. So if he is not finishing, then you can make your point, because you have not reminded her then what is the time slot allotted to her to give this point, right?
समझ रहा हूँ सर, समझ रहा हूँ.
हाँ,
ये
तो
तो
वो
है.
चीज थोड़ी सी.
हाँ मतलब सर
sometimes
पता है
when
एक्चुअली
the
अगर
guests
दीपक
are
मेनन सर अगर
coming,
वही बोलते ना, या सर प्लीज गो अहेड.
नहीं बोलो बोलो बोलो, हमने बोल
नहीं सर,
दिया.
मैं बोल रहा था कि जैसे दीपक मेनन सर को स्टेज दिया हमने तो सर को पता चल जाता है कि भाई लेट जा रहे हैं, तेज जा रहे हैं, जो भी है,
हाँ,
तो
नहीं
ही
जो
कैन कट
टोस्ट
शॉर्ट ऑटोमेटिकली.
नहीं, जो एक्चुअली सीजन स्पीकर या टोस्ट मास्टर समझता है वो, लेकिन गेस्ट की स्पेशली हम बात कर रहे हैं बिकॉज दे आर द फ्यूचर टोस्ट मास्टर्स, राइट? तो अगर वो पहली बार ही डिसरिस्पेक्ट होगा तो आगे ज्वाइन नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि अंदर से उसे